Hello, good afternoon everyone. Thank you for coming to join me today. I just wanted to do the final flip through of my Ribbit Jeremy Fisher frog journal that I've been making. I did a couple of videos with you just to show you what I've been doing. The cover that I wanted to do, unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. I'd made it out of corrugated cardboard, inspired by my friend Carol Rigby. But when I folded it and then I put Mod Podge on it to try and protect it because it was only corrugated card. When I folded it, I put the signatures in, folded it, and then it cracked all the way up the spine and tore into the card. And I thought, well, it's just, even though I'd put Tyvek on the inside of the spine, I thought it's not going to be strong enough. So I'm not sure how Carol did hers, but mine just didn't work out. So what I did was I had a look through my stash of fabric, and I had this lovely fabric, and it just reminded me of frogs. It's kind of olive greens, and it's lots of circles on it. And it just reminded me of the frogs, and it just went really well with the Jeremy Fisher book that I had. Not all of Jeremy Fisher's in here. It was some pages that I had left over, but I'm really pleased with how this journal turned out. So let me just try and move you so I don't bang you. So there's around 130 pages in here, front and back. It's approximately 5 inches wide by just over 7¼ tall, and it's got a 2.5 inch spine. It's got some tabs at the top, and it's got some lace. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm really pleased how it turned out. I did a little bit that I was inspired by Carol. I can never undo these. So the front is the cover of a Jeremy Fisher book, and there's a little frog charm that I found. Isn't it? It's the only one I've got, but it has to go on this journal, doesn't it? So the cover of Beatrix Potter, and that opens up. So there's room just here that you can either, whoever has this, oh, and this one has been reserved. I'm not sure if the lady does want it, but she has reserved it. So until I hear from her, it is reserved. So this bit here, you could put another pocket on it if you wanted, or you could write on it or put a picture. And then there's a pocket here, and then just a little writing place there with some frogs on that goes in there. And of course, whatever I've put in the pockets here, they can be moved around, can't it? It doesn't have to stay where I've put it. So as I say, there are 4 signatures in it. It has ruffle down some of the pages. Hopefully you can see that. And it feels really substantial. So it's made from a cereal box, 2 layers of cereal box that I've covered in fabric and then lined with card. So on the inside here is a pocket that comes, and I know I've said it before in the videos, but this kit that I've used is from Amy at Crafty Cat, and I've put links below to her Etsy store, and you can find the kit. And she's now got another one called Croak, which is a toad kit. So this is Ribbit, and I'm going to be moving on to Croak, I know I am. So I had these cards, journal cards left over, so I've put those in there. Some of the other journaling cards that I've used are from Mrs. Cogg's frog kit. So, but it's just such a beautiful image, that one, isn't it? So the tags go in that pocket in no specific order. So it's all about bugs and frogs, this one. This is the envelope that we made. So there's a pocket that goes in there with that lovely image from the Amy's kit in there. I'll put that in when we're finished. And then the Jeremy Fisher there, and I think he's telling this little frog all about don't go fishing in there because the fish are too big and they'll eat you. So that's a window envelope there. And on the back of that there's a pocket, one of the journaling cards, and then the beautiful kit from Amy. It's got a lovely little ladybird on its nose just there. Jeremy Fisher, I cut a hole in that paper. It says, once upon a time there was a frog called Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a little damp house among the buttercups at the edge of the pond. And it's just fabulous. The images, it's my favourite Beatrix Potter book. Jeremy Fisher. This is a vintage book that I have found some frogs on. I think the frogs are going to eat those. They may be toads, who knows. But yeah, they're going to eat those. Some tea-dyed paper there. Amy's beautiful kit there. Little tuck spot there. Is that called? It's not a stag beetle. Something. No, that's a stag beetle, isn't it? And this, is it a rhino beetle or something? I just love beetles and bugs. I think the colours and the iridescence of them is amazing. More froggy stroke toads from the book that I had. Jeremy Fisher there. I don't know if you can see, but there's the minnows that he was after for his tea, and has been eaten by a big fish. But fortunately it didn't like the taste of his Macintosh, so it spat him out, and there's his little fishing basket. And I think that frog is watching and thinking, I'm not fishing in that pond. So again, Amy's beautiful paper. And that's the middle of the first signature. So I think I said, didn't I, that there's 130 pages front and back in this one. Love that flower. Is it a passion flower? And the frog has got a snail for a hat. Then this is a flip. That flips out. And I've done that as a little pocket. So again, that little image there. I was just wondering if this was one of Amy's fussy cuts, but it's not, because she's got that as a fussy cut as well. So that flips out. I had to shrink these papers down slightly because I wanted it to fit the cardboard book cover that I'd made, that in the end I couldn't use. But so it's quite a nice size, this one. It's Jeremy Fisher with his friends come for tea, having a cricket. And again, this is the envelope that we did. So there's a tuck spot just in there, the little frog on there, and there's a little journaling card in there, and a butterfly, and a little card there. So this is one, oh, the other paper that I used from Amy. So I used her Ribbit kit and also the torn paper and fern, and this is from the torn paper and fern, and I fussy cut that little frog out and put him on there. And then in the back, I don't know if you can see, but I've put some embossing powder on that, so that it's kind of shiny, the ladybird. Little tuck spot there. And then it's just got little tiny cards in there. And then these little images here are from Amy's This and That kit, where she's got lots of little labels. And they're really useful just to use on small things and put into clusters. They're kind of clustered already, I think. We did this one together, so I put a pocket on the front. There's a picture of Jeremy Fisher. He took her out a reed pole and pushed the boat out into the open water. I know a good place for minnows, said Jeremy Fisher. And then there's a little postcard in there with mushrooms on, and a journaling card there, and I've stuck that on. That's one of the fussy cuts that I've put on some of the kit page. And then this paper, I think, was from her 1920 something kit. A little frog there sat on the binoculars. There's the decoration at the side of the page there. You can use that as a tuck spot if you want to. It will tuck. You can tuck something in there on both sides if you wanted to. Book page there, and it's got the frogs on it. There's Mr. Fisher catching his fishes, and he's landed, and that's a stickleback, and I can tell that because it's got the stickles on its back. And when I was a little girl all those years ago, we used to catch those in the local canal and put them back, put them in a jam jar to have a look, and then put them back. Mushrooms stuck on there with some threads that I've pulled off fabrics. When I tear my fabric, I keep the little bits of thread. This one as well, I think we did this one. So there's Jeremy Fisher there, and then it flips up. So you've got some writing space on here, and then there's a tag just there. And then that tag comes out just there. So they're all backed in different papers that I had. So that was a window envelope, but I've used it slightly differently. That's the middle of the second signature. Some more of the mushrooms and the cotton threads just there. That's the other side of that book page. Then that's from Amy's This and That. And then I've put the snail on that little tag there. And then that opens up and there's a little another mushroom tag in the back there. And just some faint stenciling on there. Sorry if I've got a bit of a funny throat. We've had a really bad cold this week. I've had it and I've just passed it on to hubby, which I thought was very kind of me. That little frog there, that's a flip out. And there's a little journaling card in there. And I think that little frog is just watching to see what Jeremy's catching, to see if it's worth going to fish there himself. And then this is one of a little tuck spot there, and this is one of Amy's CD cases that she has. And she has got a kit, a separate kit of CD cases, but she also now in her kits puts the CD case. Now, because this is a smaller book, I printed 2 to a page and printed on the back of it so that you could see the brightness of the inside of the CD case. But I've not put any window. I've not put a window in it. I've left it so that it can be a little tuck spot, and I've stuck the little frog on, and then there's just some little tickets in there that you can write on if you want to, in one of those little pockets, and that just tucks in there. I thought that was just a bit of a different way to use the CD case. This is a triple pocket, so there's a journaling card there at the top. They do all fit in, but I'm at an odd angle, aren't I? There's another card just there with the ladybird on. There's another one there. And then there's the little card that's tucked there at the front. And again, that's one of Amy's fussy cuts. And then these papers are the ones that I did myself with inks and things and sprayed them. Put sticking plasters on his fingers. That's a print that I found on, I think it was Old Design Shop. It's either Old Design Shop or Graphics Fairy. I've just put that on some tea dyed paper, so there's some extra writing paper there. That lovely frog. Looks a bit like a tree frog to me. It's got little suckers on the ends of his... Oh, he looks like that one with the little suckers on his fingers. I don't have any more book pages with frogs in now, I don't think. I've used them all up. Little journaling card there. And then I've woven some papers that I had left over on there and just made that into a little pocket, and I've put the frog on. Just again a bit different. This kit page is from Amy's spring kit from last year, and she used some Beatrix Potter images in that, and you can just see the trout coming up, and it's got its mouth open and he's looking a bit scared, but he's dangling his toes in that water. That's the middle of the third signature, and there he is, look. These papers are beautiful of Amy's from her spring kit last year. And I've just put the little frog down there. I'll have to look for some more books with frogs in. They're few and far between, I think. This was the other side of the paper that I added. I've added this bit to it, and there's a pocket just there with the toadie in, and there's a pocket in the glassine bag just there, and that's got Jeremy Fisher on it as well. And there he is scrambling out the bank and hopping across, and his Macintosh is all in tatters because it's been in the fish's mouth. And then on the back of that, a little journaling card as well. And that's Isaac Newton, his friend. Again, one of the CD cases, and this time I've done it as just a flip up, so you can write on there or put a picture, and you can still write on this. And that's Ptolemy Tortoise and Isaac Newton and Jeremy Fisher. One of the Tim Holtz, whatever you call these, I don't know what you call that. So it's just got a couple of the tea cards that I had left over when I did the book journal, and just a little card in there, so they're just tucked in. This I fussy cut out of a book that I had and backed it to make it into a little pocket. So we've got that frog climbing out again. And then on the inside, I've just put a paper clip just to hold that closed, but that opens up, and then you've got some extra papers in there. So you can take these papers off because they flip up, but I thought it's useful, leftover papers from the journal, when it's been made, and then the person that has this can use those to decorate further if they want to. So I just put a little paper clip on the top of that just to stop it from flapping open. Jeremy Fisher there as a little flip, and there he is climbing out the water. Some more frogs just there in a pond. Little thread there, little bits of fluff get everywhere, a couple of little bits of fabric on there. And again, just a little bit of stenciling on that. And again, the CD case there that flips up. And again, you can put something on there and the writing space there. And again, the little flips of fabric there. I think that's a little bit of Tim Holtz fabric that I've had. Just put them on there. These papers, and when I do, I'm definitely going to be using the Toad kit, but these papers will match with it as well. So I know I've said it before, but when you're using papers from one digital designer, their papers just mix and match so nicely. I mean, in this one, I've used the frog one. I've used some of the background papers from the 1920 something. I've used the torn paper and ferns, and they just all match so beautifully. A journaling card just there, and I made that little pocket just to cover the plain back of that book page there. The frog leaping in there, look. Tadpoles, I've got them in my pond at the moment, they've just hatched out. And I used quite grungy tea-dyed papers in this one because it just went with the rest of the papers. And there's Jeremy Fisher with Ptolemy Tortoise and Isaac Newton the Newt. And then that flips open, so there's a little journal spot just there. And then there's a little picture of Jeremy eating his sandwich there, and again the paper that I did the mixed media on, so that's just a little tuck spot there, and there's a little pocket there again. So that's just a book page that we decorated, and then again a little journal card, and then Amy's shrunk down CD case with one of her frogs stuckered on it to make a little pocket. I put a ticket, the little stamp, and the binos go in that one. And then we made this in one of the first videos that I'd done, and I was going to stick it here in the back of the book, and then I thought, really, I think the person that has this needs to decide where they want it, so I'm going to include it, but I'm not sticking it in. I'm going to leave that to the person to decide whether they want to stick it in or not. And then on the inside, I've just put a couple of those little pockets that I've made, a couple of extra journaling cards, and then there's little cards in there that they can decorate themselves and use. So that's just a little something extra that's going to go in the back, but you know, it can be stuck in there if they want it to. So that is my frog journal. I've really enjoyed doing this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to making the next journal with you. And if there's anything in here that you'd like me to show you how I made, then I'm more than happy to do a craft with me. So thanks so much, folks. I really do appreciate your time. Take care all. Bye bye.